Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I have the beautiful Namie with me again today. How you doing, hun?
I am doing great. Thank you. I had a couple of errands I had to run, but I'm so happy that I can do this show with you since we were supposed to get on a few days ago. But since I had a last minute family situation, I was glad that I was able to reach out and let you know, hey, let's get back on together.
I was so happy to hear from you. We were actually thinking about doing, so this is actually kind of a funny story. So we were thinking about maybe doing the show yesterday because Namie had mentioned, I could do it Friday or Saturday. And I was like, yeah, you know what? It's like 31 degrees here. And we don't have air conditioning up here in Alberta. Well, we do, but you know what I mean? It's it's not normal. So I was like, I don't think I can sit in this room without air conditioning or without something going and I would probably melt like literally on camera, like the Wicked Witch of the East or whatever, and be like, as you're watching me slowly disintegrate on camera. And then today I kind of mixed up as well because I was like, I had said, yeah, we'll go on at 4 your time. And I somehow had it in my head. It was 4 o'clock my time. And so I had to keep adjusting the time periods on here. And so I truly apologize for anybody that got mixed up. That was all my fault. And yeah, Sandra and Samantha are saying it's really hot. So Sandra's in Florida. Samantha's in Texas. Yeah. We get hot weather for sure. Like 31, I think right now, I think it's about, 87, 88 degrees, Fahrenheit. We do get hotter, but most of the houses here, unless you actually get air conditioning installed, and because I'm in a townhouse condo, my son has air conditioning in his room, like one of those portable ones, but, except for this room, the rest of the house is okay. Like you can deal with it, but just not this particular room. It's like I've got a little oven in here. Hey, Willie, how's it going? So yeah, it's so if you do see me, melt or whatever, you'll know why. But so guys, we're going to be doing some readings for you today. Please remember to read. All of the information is going across your screen at the moment. So if you're new to the channel, you're new watching the channel, please, please, please watch the screen as it goes by. The banner at the bottom of the screen, it gives you all the information. So one of the things that we don't, or I don't particularly read on, Namie does, however, she does have her own channel, and this is on TikTok. So make sure that you subscribe to Namie at Mimi's Holistics on TikTok, and her Etsy store is there as well if you want a personal reading. And if you want a personal reading with me, you can contact me at oracleintuitions.com. All of the information is on my website. Some of the things that I don't particularly read on are pregnancy, especially, live. On a personal reading, it is something that I would probably look into, but I don't particularly do it here. Also, legal questions, please. And so and health, okay? Those are things that we don't particularly look into. And again, if you do want to ask Namie a question in regards to pregnancy, you can probably go to her channel, or she doesn't mind even answering it here. And I don't actually mind, if she answers here. That's of no bearing to me. Like, by all means, go ahead. Sandawi. All the information on how to get a reading is going across the screen. So just take a look at that and that will help you if you are interested in getting a reading today. So one of the things I actually, sorry, I was just blowing on my screen here. I wanted to make sure that I have everybody. Please also make sure, guys, if you do donate for a reading, make sure that you do put it into the chat box, because sometimes I don't always get the notifications, okay? And so if the notifications don't come in, I may not see them right away, and we don't want to miss you, okay? One of the things I wanted to talk about today, and this is something that I've been seeing a little bit on social media, okay? And social media, and also when I do, general readings, with people on the app that I'm on, which is Purple Ocean. So that's another place that you can get a reading from me as well. But one of the things that I've noticed really coming up lately are, people talking about relationships. And they're kind of on Facebook or social media complaining that they can't get a relationship, or men suck, women suck, blah 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 blah. And I kind of want to just address this a little bit, okay? So first of all, when people are looking for relationships, the first thing we have to really ask ourselves is, what are you seeking in a relationship? Define the relationship you're looking for. And, usually, when you ask people that, they'll say, well, I'm looking for something healthy. I'm looking for a healthy relationship. Well, what is healthy to you? What is healthy to you? Because my version of healthy might not be your version of healthy. And it's not going to be healthy to the universe, because the universe might just sit there and go, okay, well, you're not really being defined. You're not defining this in any way. So, define that relationship. But here's the other thing that we have to really take a look at and ask ourselves are what we're asking for, are we projecting as well? And that's where a lot of people tend to skip over. They tend to skip this step. So they'll say, I want a healthy relationship, or I want a relationship with somebody, who isn't a drinker, substance abuser, or maybe a cheater, or blah, 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 blah. They'll have this list. And it's like, well, where do you go to find people? Well, I go to the bar.
Right.
Okay, then. All right. So, we have to stop and take a look at some of these things, right? Are you bringing your exes to, what are you bringing to the table? Sometimes we have to stop and ask ourselves, what are we bringing to the table? Because if what we are seeking within a relationship, we also have to be ready to present this offer at the same time as somebody else, right? We can't expect somebody to, bring a full, 10-course meal to the table if we're only going to provide the bread, or maybe some nacho chips or dip, right? Like, we have to really ask ourselves, what are you bringing to the table? What am I bringing to the table in order to gain a healthy relationship? Or what am I bringing to the table in order to help nourish a relationship, right? If you're asking for, again, somebody who isn't a drinker, non-abuser, or all of this stuff, sometimes we have to stop and ask ourselves, am I bringing my ex to the table? Because if I'm bringing my ex to the table, and all of the qualities that he, or she embellished or, carried, then how am I going to be able to fit a new person at the table? Because that ex already has a whole bunch of shit laid out all over the table. So where is there going to be that room for this new person to be able to come in? Right? And that's something that we have to envision and help ourselves clear off as well. There's a few things that, people will say, like, here's one that's going to be controversial, and people aren't probably going to like it. But it's about our body and our health, and to some degree our looks, right? If you're expecting to pick up somebody who is taking care of themselves, somebody who eats healthy, somebody who, they don't need to be at the gym 24 hours a day, but somebody who puts some sort of relevance into their health, chances are they're not going to date somebody who doesn't embellish that as well, or who doesn't contain that. And we hear this all the time. Well, I think they should just like me for me. No, they don't have to like you for you. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't get. Somebody does not have to like you for you. And that's a hard thing to accept, but it's the truth. And it's like, you don't have to like the guy that works out 24 hours a day. You don't have to like the Adonis. You don't have to like the Marilyn Monroe type. You don't have to like the Twiggy type, or somebody. You don't have to like, you don't have to like that. Nobody is forcing you to like that. If you don't want to date somebody who, you're not, I guess, to some degree physically attracted to, nobody is forcing you to do this, and you can't expect somebody else you can't expect yourself to force that upon somebody as well. And a lot of people don't get that. And a lot of people don't understand that. And, if somebody likes blondes, they're probably not going to date a redhead. And, that doesn't mean that you have to go change your hair to go being blonde. It's just basically saying, like, you can't force that look upon somebody simply because of the fact that this is what you want, or this is, saying that expression, well, they should just like me for me. Because if you're not bringing what it is that they want to the table, you can't force them to eat. Personally, I don't like spicy food. If somebody was to bring spicy food to the table, I might not eat it. I shouldn't be forced to eat it because it's spicy food. And so when you sort of take a look at it in a different perspective, it really does help remove ourselves from things such as heartache, disappointment, chasing something that we're probably not going to achieve in some degree, right? And the same comes with like culture, race, again, body image, right? If you're somebody who takes care of their teeth, you probably don't want somebody that is going to have no teeth, or unhealthy gums, or bad breath, or whatever it is. Like, this is a personal choice, and we can't force that upon people. And this is where we have to be in that place of realism, and we have to be in this place of looking at our own expectations of what it is that we want to achieve, in the long run, right? If somebody is a bad person, or somebody is just not in a healthy place, it's basically saying, like, we can't have a healthy relationship with somebody who's unhealthy. And a lot of people try to push past that, and they'll say, well, in their head, they might be going, I know I can't change them, but maybe I could get them into rehab, or maybe I could, do this, or maybe I could. So again, you're still trying to change that person. It doesn't mean that we have to be unsympathetic, to their plight, but it doesn't mean that we have to involve ourselves in their plight of healing, or whatever it is that they need to do. 9 times out of 10, and I've seen this so many times over and over and over again, people will say, I'm going to try to fix him, and they might, of course, they're not going to use those words, because of the fact that, they have to cover those words, because as soon as you say you're going to try and fix somebody, everybody's like, no, you can't fix them. But they'll use other words to try to cover up the fact of the bottom line is, I'm going to try to fix them. 9 times out of 10, you can fix that person, or pretend to fix that person, and they're going to be with somebody else, because they don't want to see you, because of all the flaws that they've just gone to. So there's that energy of, being real, but they don't want you to see that realism. They want the finished product of where they are. So, if let's say, for instance, you sat beside somebody while they were going through, detox, or substance abuse, or alcoholism, or gambling, or whatever it is, chances are, at the end of it, they're probably going to go with somebody who's already seeing them at the finished result, rather than the person who has walked them through this trial of what they've had to go through. And I've seen that over and over and over again. So we can say we can fix somebody, or think in our heads we're going to fix somebody, but it doesn't happen. Right? Or maybe you'll fix them and they're going to drop you and go with somebody because they're already fixed. So they're going to go with another fixed person, basically, is what it is. And where are you? You're left out in the garbage. So, it's just, we have to just, again, ask ourselves, try to be realistic with some of the things that, that we are bringing to the table, right? And, take a look and go, am I a healthy person? What do I have to contribute to this relationship? And then ask yourself, what does this person, I don't think there's anything wrong with asking a person, what do you have to contribute to me? Because this is your time and it's your body, it's your space, it's your energy. What do you have to contribute to me? And you're not under any obligation to take less than what it is that you can bring to the table yourself. And it's just, I think a lot of people, if we started keeping this mindset within us, it would really help grow relationships rather than sitting there in this place of struggling on a constant and daily daily thing that we're getting readings about probably all the time. And I'm sure you probably deal with that too, right, Naomi?
Oh yes, I have a lot of relationship questions.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for people? You're in a really good relationship.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Everybody has flaws. Everybody has flaws. I have flaws. Everybody has flaws. But like in a relationship, it's up to us to choose what flaws we want to deal with and what we don't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, later on in life, oh, in the beginning, you knew this person had these flaws, and then now you're complaining about it later. You want to deal with it no more. Well, in the beginning, you have to nip it right there in the bud. Like, is this a flaw that I can deal with for a year, 2 years, 5 years from now? Or is it not? Like make that decision now and then don't complain later. You know, it's up to us what we want to deal with in a relationship. And it's super important that there's always communication, like, letting the person know what you're looking for in a relationship and hear them out too about what they want in a relationship, what they're looking for, vice versa. Have some kind of mutual understanding of what you're wanting to know, like, is this going to work? Because if there's not a balance and there's more things you want out of the relationship and the other person doesn't, then it's not going to work out. So I mean, it's always like communication is always important, mutual understanding, hearing each other out, and accepting the flaws, accepting which
Absolutely.
flaws you're wanting to accept and which ones you don't. And if you can never get past a specific flaw, like I don't know, the person eats with their mouth open, that they've been eating with their mouth open their whole life, I promise you. And you can't just change that overnight. So
They're not going to stop.
so if you can deal with the mouth chewing open, then okay, then so be it. But if that's something that you can't, that's something that there's certain personalities and certain habits that people have that you can't change. Like Miguel bites his nails, it drives me off the wall, but I'm okay with it. I just remind him every now and then, stop doing that, stop doing that. But I know he's gonna do it, and I'm fine with that. But then there's other flaws that are, maybe something that you just can't deal with. And that's something that you need to look into. Especially when you're just starting a relationship, never rush. It's always good to know people's habits, what they like, what they don't like, what they can tolerate, not tolerate,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You know what? I love the fact that you brought that up, actually, because that is so true. There are so many things that those are things, and again, it goes back to that. I'm going to try to change them. Chances are, you know what? You're not going to, right? You're not going to change them. Maybe if they were 2 years old and they were biting their nails, you could put mittens on them for a week, but you can't do that. Like this is a a grown person, but at the same degree, I mean, Sometimes I bite my nails. Sometimes my son does. You try not to do it out in public, but I might be sitting there watching TV and be like, But like you said, everybody has their flaws. Everybody has absolutely their habits, and there's going to be, like you said, things that you can tolerate, things that you can't, right? And so many people walk into relationships so blind, and they think, oh, this is okay. I can just deal with that now. I love this. So Sandra says, I told Bill I would not kiss him if he would bite his nails when we were dating. He quit. Well, that's good. But he probably had to practice on that.
Yeah.
Or he does it privately when you're not looking. But yeah. So for again, I appreciate everybody that's donated. I have it all written down here. For those of you looking for reading, make sure that all the information is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. If you do want a reading, please make sure that you let us know that you've donated. And at some point here, I will be putting up I probably will be putting up, a thing that says that, we've stopped doing the readings. Excuse me. Please make sure also too, is that we, if we are reading for somebody else, as well, like if there's another party involved in the reading besides yourself, please let us know their name and possibly their sun sign. We do need that as well. Okay. Yeah, I think we're ready.
Yes, I'm ready to go.
Okay. At some point we'll probably do 2 or 3 readings and then just take a little bit of a break in case we need to name or I need to run to the washroom. Chances are it's probably going to be me. So I've been drinking water and coffee all day, so here we go. So the first one up is Sandra, and she's asking about are her spirit guides happy with her starting her craft business? So go ahead. I'm gonna let you go first.
So I am getting yes, and I know she talked about it before, and I already felt that was a good thing that she was doing, and it's something that she's been, wanting to be able to work from home, and she likes to do arts and crafts, so I know that was really positive. So I got abundance. Mm-hmm. So I pulled 3 cards for you. I got abundance. So yes, the investing on what you're doing at home is a positive thing. Your spirit guides are okay with it. They like the whole idea. But try to take baby steps, is what I'm getting. I'm also getting that you're needing to take some time for yourself to reflect on things, meditate is what I'm getting for you at this time. So like take a time, it could be even in the morning when you're drinking coffee or whatever, sit down, look out into nature and reflect and think about things, and maybe, try to like organize what it is that you're wanting for yourself, aside from the business that you're trying to start from home. And then this may have nothing to do with what you were asking, but I'm gonna bring it up because it's what came out of the cards. Forgiveness. So this probably can be forgiveness for yourself or forgiveness from someone close to you, friend or family, or it could just be that you need to let go of something. There's something that still kind of haunts you, or something that you're thinking about too much at this time, or is worrying you, and you just need to let it go. Release anything that can delay you in moving forward. And that's what I'm getting for you at this time right now.
Beautiful. You know, it's actually interesting. Just before I do the reading for Sandra, I just want to remind everybody to there we go. The subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Okay, so interesting that you had said that in regards to what you got for her in regards to forgiveness and all of that, because one of the cards that came up was actually the Five of Swords. All right. And so I do feel that there does need to be a releasing of some sort of energy here where you feel, so when the Five of Swords comes through, it's really an energy of somebody, to some degree, somebody, winning, but they're not really winning. And I feel like this is being brought in from, your workplace to some degree. It's kind of, I do feel that you need to kind of take it slow, do the forgiveness. As Naomi said, the other thing that came through though, and I actually had pulled this card right away. I had pulled this card before we even went live, and it came through as the trophy, right? And so this really talks about winning, victory, success, goals, recognition. And so when you ask if your guides are happy with, with you starting this, I absolutely do feel that this is the path to go. I am getting that same sort of caution that Naomi had, though, is I feel like it's good to, put yourself into the work, but try to also take that time for yourself and recognize the fact that success may come a little bit slower with the Three of Wands coming through. And I feel like that is sometimes where people do get discouraged. And I feel like that could be a discouragement that you may feel, is that if things don't, pick up immediately, don't get discouraged by that, because it is going to be a process. Now, when I say that, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful. You could be successful immediately and tomorrow, but they are asking you to just be in that mindset of understanding that things may just take their time. Like, it may not be immediately. It may not be a process that's going to happen, overnight. But I do feel that this business is going to be successful. I also, and I think, I don't remember if I said this to you last week. I'm pretty sure I did, but I keep getting this energy of keeping open, because it feels like there's going to be new ideas that keep coming to you, new projects that come to you. Like, you might even have them in dreams, like where you have a dream about creating something or doing something, and you'll be like, oh wow, okay, like, holy cow, and that, I feel like, is your guides bringing you a lot of these new ideas or these new crafts or whatever it is. I do feel success with this. I do feel it moving forward, and I think it's going to be absolutely perfect for you. And it's also going to give you that sense of balance that has been so kind of needed within your life. So I hope that helps, Cassandra. And yeah, I do. I feel like this is going to be really successful for you. I do. Also, too, make sure that you hit up like craft fairs and stuff like that. Especially being in Florida, you guys probably have a few of them, quite a few of them. It's worth the money to rent the tables, like, or even if you can get a regular table, at least to start, right? Because that's a really good way to also sometimes test new innovations that you have, like, bring it to the craft fair, see how it sells. So I think that might be, and have a website with those, or, like an Etsy store or something with those same products. So that way, even though they're at the crafts fair, some people, might be like, oh, I don't know if I want to get it today. I want to look around, blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. That's okay. Here's my card. This is my Etsy store. Boom, done. Because they will come back and visit. So, all right. So we're going to move on to Miguel. And Miguel wants a general reading.
Okay.
He wants to know what is coming through.
So far I'm getting, you need to improve your health. This doesn't mean that you're sick or you have some kind of health issue or disease. Your health can be something mentally, physically, and emotionally. So I'm getting, whatever kind of worries or anxieties you may have, whatever stress you may be going through, it is affecting you. And you need to try to clear your head of all that. Try to do things that you like to do to release some of, any stress or anxiety that can be affecting your health right now. Is what I'm getting for that. Um, I'm laughing because I got romance. So I'm
I
detaching
wonder who that
myself
would be with.
from why I'm getting that. But and it's something we've gone back and forth about so much. We need time for ourselves. We haven't had date night in such a long time. We haven't, done even anything at home. Usually we would come up with ideas to do even date night at home. And we haven't even been able to do that. So that's what I'm getting for that romance part. We need time for ourselves, for our relationship, to remind each other why we're together, why we love each other. And the little things, because the little things are always important. We don't have to go out to do something, but like even something special at home, even if it's like movie night in the room and have, I don't know, champagne and some popcorn and whatever, something to, you know, continue that love that we have for each other, to remind each other, that it's us too. It's not just the kids, the house, the bills, this, that, whatever, it's to bring us together again. And then listen to your intuition is the last one I got for you. So whatever it is that you're feeling on ideas, whether it's, business or other plans you may have, follow your intuition and listen to the messages that you may be receiving at this time. And I believe Miguel just told me a few minutes ago that he was receiving a lot of messages through numbers. So whatever gut feelings you may have, pay attention to them and pay attention to those messages is what I'm getting at this time.
That's beautiful. Love Tea, I just wanted to respond. No, it's not too late to donate. Absolutely, you can. That's fine. Just remember to include the question names and, sun sign down below in the comments section. Let me know when you've donated. Thank you. And thank you. Okay, so Miguel, so what I got with you, I don't know why, but I've been hearing something about two paths. Okay, and I'm not exactly sure what that has to do with. But the other thing I'm also picking up here is something about a little bit of there's a little bit of a poverty mindset that's going on that I feel that cycle needs to be broken. All right. And because once you actually release that, I kind of feel, here's the thing. I feel like you've done so much spiritual growth over, the last year or so. like you've really risen, you've really, even with these numbers, I feel like, we had talked about, I felt like the angels were going to be, really like this was something for you to really embrace, because I did feel a lot of angel communication coming through for you. I think there's a part of you, though, that the angels are asking you to release now. And that has to do with the imagery of the poverty mindset. When we talk about poverty mindset, it doesn't mean that you're living in poverty. It's basically being in that cycle or that place that you're not really allowing yourself to move forward. I feel like there might even be some sort of energy in there that you're holding back on. It's kind of like saying, I can't be happy because every time I'm happy, something bad happens, or something along that line, right? And I feel like what the angels are saying to you is you have to walk away from that projection that you keep putting out there. And it's really interesting because I did pull cards and I did get the 5 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, and the Death card. So the Death is actually, the 8 of Cups is saying like you got to walk away from this, and the Death card's coming in as transforming. Then you get the Lovers with the Knight of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands. It's like almost as soon as you drop that poverty mindset, or that mindset that is kind of to some degree keeping you stuck, or in a cycle, as soon as you let that go, this is where those things really transform, especially with that 4 of Wands. And obviously, listen to your wife about spending alone time together, because that is necessary. But I do feel like there's energy coming from you that you are a little bit nervous or scared about moving forward in some way, because of maybe things that have happened in the past, or maybe things that have been repeated. But I keep hearing that cycle is over unless you allow yourself to maintain it. And you could even do some cord cutting in regards to some of the past cycles that you've been through, or the past cycles that you've participated in. That's what I get as well. And it's okay to do like a cord cutting ceremony for yourself. And I mean, there's tons of them all over YouTube. Just, you don't need an 8-hour freaking cord cutting ceremony. All right. Like literally it takes like 5 minutes to envision, cut the cord, let it go, let it fly away like a balloon. That's the end of it. And you may have to do it like every day for a week or something, but I keep feeling like this energy, because I feel like it's almost like a cartoon is the image that I get in my head, is like the angels behind you kind of pushing you forward, okay, go, come on. And you're like feet up, and you have those skid marks, that are kind of going with where the feet are, like you're like, like that kind of imagery keeps coming in. And this is what will help, right? Is by releasing that poverty mindset, or that mindset that that you're struggling with in some form. So I hope that helped. Yeah. Does that make any sense?
It makes perfect sense, but when he hears it from me, he gets upset. He's like, don't tell me that I'm being negative. And I'm like, but then when he hears it from you or someone else, then he's like, you are right. I love you.
Yeah. Well, aren't all men kind of like that? Aren't all women kind of like that? We're all kind of, to some degree. We got to hear it from somebody else, because we always think, oh yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. Right? But no, that's what I keep getting, and it's just, here's the thing. There's actually really great, there's really great like 8-hour meditations that you can play while you're sleeping in regards to abundance. Just look up money manifestations. Brian Scott is really good. There's a few out there that have really good, and they're not annoying, meditations. They're not, but they'll a lot of them have binaural beats in them, or they,
Yeah.
they have the subliminal played over and over, while you're sleeping. It's not a one-time thing. It's not like, oh, I'm going to play it today and everything's going to, it's over and over, right? And most of them you don't need headphones for. You can just play them while you're sleeping. So as long as both of you are okay with listening to it, but they do really help. And they help because a lot of times we forget that our subconscious is, as much as we're projecting forward, if our subconscious is still running around, in a circle, again, with that poverty mindset, it's going to be hard to move over. So we got to release that poverty mindset and help it move forward. So anybody that is joining, hi Priyanka, and please, again, please take a look at the banner going across the screen. And that is how we are receiving or going for the readings today. It gives you all the information, and just take a look at the banner and we can go from there. So we will do Will, and then we'll take a quick break. Will, again, is also, when I say again, it's because he's asking for a general reading as well. So Will would like a general reading as well, is what I meant.
Okay. Okay. So I'm getting, first and foremost, I'm getting big happy changes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be some kind of doors opening for you, some new things coming in for you, and they're going to be positive changes. But I'm also getting that you're going through some sort of situation, worrying about something, but you don't even have to worry much longer because that situation is going to improve, is what I'm getting here, which is this card. The situation will improve. So whatever situation you may be going through right now, it's going to pass. It's going to be better. And because, those big happy changes are coming soon for you. Not sure if that has to do with work or maybe relationship, because I'm also getting the card of romance. So not sure if he's in a relationship or is in a new relationship. But I am getting romance, which is a good thing. Along with the card with the big happy changes. So that's what I'm getting at this time. Whatever worries or anything that's kind of holding you back right now, it's going to get better. It's going to be okay. And there's a lot of things that are going to come forth for you soon, that will be good changes for you. And that's what I'm getting for Will at this time.
It's interesting because I think our cards are definitely in sync today. So one of the things I actually heard for Will was confidence. There was a lot of change within the confidence as well. When I tapped into your energy, Will, it felt it, whether you're recognizing this or not, there was a lot of a confidence energy that came through. So I do feel like this is most definitely a beautiful thing. Also too, it's interesting what Naomi said, simply because of the fact that when she talked about big happy changes, so the first two cards that actually came through were the Death and the Tower. Now, a lot of people will look at that as a negative energy, or they might look at that as a, I'm going to get all scared. But really what it's saying to you is that there is definitely changes coming through, but these are going to be beautiful changes. When I look at the Tower cards, when the Tower comes through, there's changes that we can't always stop, or there's changes that, are sort of out of our control. But here's the thing, is that these changes don't have to be negative, especially when the death card is coming through, because it's a transition. And when I look at the Tower card, for me, what it talks about is starting a new foundation within ourselves, within our environment, whatever it is. And I'm glad that you said confidence. Yes, that you're feeling great, because this is exactly what I keep, kept feeling. Is that was the first word that I heard coming through. And so with that Tower and that death card, it's like these changes are happening in order for a new foundation for you to be started, to be built, for you to basically create a whole new, you know, paradigm really for yourself, is what's coming in. The other things that actually followed, coming in, were the Empress, the Temperance, the Ace of Wands, the Hierophant. Like, I don't know what the flying fuck is going on, but they can't really get much better than that. Like, it's coming really through strongly. So, as far as the confidence goes with that Empress coming through, and you guys, we have to remember that tarot has no, it's not about the gender, it's about what the card, talks about. And that Empress is somebody who is confident within herself. She brings through abundance. She brings through, strong recognition. She brings through healing, all of these energies, right? And with that Ace of Wands, it's like there's this new beginning that's going to be presented to you, or has been presented to you, or even just within that confidence itself, you'll start noticing, different signs, synchronicities coming through. And I feel like it's going to be important for you to recognize them, but don't focus on them. Okay. A lot of times we'll look at synchronicities and we'll be like, what does this mean? What does that mean? What does this mean? What does that mean? And we get so caught up in the meaning of it, rather than just going, okay, thanks, universe. You are showing me a path. Great. You are aligned with me. Here we go. Right. And then we've got this Temperance card with the Hierophant, which is like, this really talks about energy coming through of maybe perhaps, spiritual advice coming in, or, energy of being able to balance yourself, being able to trust your own guidance as well. And I feel like this is just a beautiful energy that's happening to you. And I feel also too, is what basically Spirit is saying, is acknowledging these changes that are happening, and the next steps that you're going to be presented with. And there may even be opportunities that are presented to you, coming in fairly soon, if they haven't happened already. And that's what I keep feeling is happening. So I hope that helped. I know it's not anything, specific. It's not saying, hey, this is going to happen on this particular date or anything like that. But what it is saying is that there is a lot of energy coming through, because you are absolutely moving in that right direction in some way. And keep up that confidence. We got to remember too, sometimes the universe will test us to make sure that we're ready for the next step. And I hear this coming through. So if for some reason, as you're going through this shift, you feel a drop in your confidence, or if you feel a drop within your energy or whatever, remember that sometimes the universe will temporarily test us just to make sure that we're in a place of being able to accept what is coming in. Okay. So I'm going to give just an example that has absolutely nothing to do with will. I'm going to just say this straight out. We're going to talk about relationships again. And sometimes people will say, I want this healthy relationship, blah, blah, blah. These are all the things that I want, yada, 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 yada. And then, they'll be ready to, accept it and receive it. And then the universe will pull a little funny trick on us, and they'll introduce you to somebody that might be all the things that you didn't ask for. Right? So if you're like, oh, I don't want to date an alcoholic or somebody with substance abuse or somebody like, or a cheater or all of it, they're gonna smack that person on your front doorstep and drop them there and go, okay, are you really ready? Because if you accept that person, you see what I'm saying? If you settle, then your energy wasn't really aligning with what it is that you wanted. And this is where the universe will kind of play a trick with us, right? So, if we're in that place of saying, this is what I don't want, this is what I want within my life, yada yada. Sometimes the universe, yeah, it'll trick you with somebody that's exactly what it is that you don't want, because they're going to see, are you going to settle? Are you getting desperate? Do you not trust me? Do you not trust me? Do you, and then if you kind of go for it and then you turn around and complain, I don't want to date an alcoholic. I don't want to date somebody with substance abuse. I always get cheaters. Okay, well, the universe is like, you guys still got some freaking lessons to learn. You learn them when you're ready. We might bring you another test, but when you deny that test, right? And you go, universe, I see what you're doing. That's where things change. And we have to be in that energy of accepting the change. So that's basically what I'm saying. Will says getting tempted by the universe. Yeah. Like, and because a lot of times people will, they'll try to blame the reader. They try to blame something else or whatever it is. But the universe just wants to make sure that you're ready for what they're about to bring in, because what they're about to bring in could be freaking fantastic. But if you're not in that place of accepting that fantastic, then you still have some lessons to learn, right? And, it's unfortunately, that's a hard lesson in itself. So, we're just, I hope that helped, Will. We're just going to close the reading list for now. We're not going to be accepting any more readings. We still got quite a few coming through here that we have to do. Guys, make sure that if you have donated, that your question is, down below in the chat box. Please make sure that you have anybody's, first name and at least their sun sign. Give us, some information in regards to what you're looking for within the reading. And yeah, Will, that's exactly it. Do not settle. Something fantastic is coming. 100%, right? If the person isn't aligned with what you're wanting, or the job or the career or whatever it is, you don't want to be in that place of accepting it, because when we accept it, we're really letting the actual opportunity of what it is that we truly want to pass us by, at least temporarily. So, don't settle. There's no need to settle, right? People will, even for those people that say your expectations are too high, fuck you. They're my expectations and I can live by them, right? And that's the thing that you got to remember, right? Do you agree?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Okay. So guys, we're going to be right back. Up next is going to actually be Dana. Then we have, and I'm just going to read out the list that I have so far. So if I've missed you, let me know. We have Dina, Samantha, Jessica, Love Tea, and Renata. So when we get back, it'll just be a 3-minute break. We will be getting to those. All right. So see you in just a couple of minutes. Hello, we are back. Thank you guys for sticking around and continuing to watch. So we're going to be moving on with Dana. And Dana is asking, I know she put the signs down here, so just give me a second. I will get to them. But her question is, so things are going well with Matt and I, just wanting to see if he's finally going to move. He is still having these fears. And I just, so Matt, I think, is a Scorpio, and Dana, I believe, is a Cancer.
Okay.
Or Gemini, maybe.
Is he finally, what does she mean by moving? Moving closer to her, moving in together?
Yeah, maybe Dana, if you can just clarify that. In regards to Matt. You want to know if he's going to be moving closer to you? Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so right now they're in a long distance relationship. So I think she wants to know if he's going to be moving closer to her.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I asked, and right away I got a yes. It was a very strong yes. That he will be wanting to move closer to her. The first card that I pulled for her was opportunity. So opportunity means positive growth. There's good things coming, positive growth coming forth. And this could just be exactly what you've been waiting for in regards to you and Matt. So continue to kind of visualize and picture you guys being together, basically manifesting it, because I do see it coming forth for you. I'm also getting the situation will improve. So your doubts about, you guys being a long distance relationship, don't even worry about it so much. I am getting it is going to work out. It may look difficult right now because you guys are far apart. That does make a huge difference in a relationship, but it's going to get better. He does have in mind to come, closer to you. He wants to be closer to you. And like I said, opportunity card, those doors are opening up for you guys and it's coming forth soon. And once you guys go through whatever it is you guys need to go through right now, and going through those opportunity doors, the last card I'm getting is success. So I'm getting a lot of positivity within your relationship with Matt at this time.
So it's interesting. The first card that actually flew out when asking that was the 10 of Cups. So if you don't know tarot, the 10 of Cups actually denotes like happy family, happy home, all of that stuff. So it's a completion card, meaning that basically what you're asking for will happen. I'm also getting the Strength card coming through. So I do feel in regards to him, what I do feel coming through is there's still some ties that he needs to cut in Chicago. This could have to do with, job, family, something along that line. I don't feel and when I'm talking, because we got the 10 of Swords coming through as well. So again, there's a completion that needs to happen on his end within Chicago is what I'm getting. And again, I feel like these are kind of, external things. Like it could be, people, work, closing off. Maybe he has to, finish a lease or sell the house, whatever it is that basically I feel like they're more, I don't feel like they're particularly people per se. But I do feel like he still has some things that he's been kind of, maybe pissing around a little bit with, like not moving it forward maybe as fast as you would think, but he is in the process of doing so, especially with that Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles really does talk about patience, but it also talks about making that plan along with the Ace of Pentacles coming through. So this is basically what I do feel he's doing here is he's closing off or cutting off some, again, some external energies that are happening. I'm also getting here too is like finding the strength within him, because it is a big move. He has no friends because of the crazy ex, but yes, family. Yeah. Again, I do feel that he is making those moves, to come forward. The Ace of Pentacles really does talk about making plans out of abundance, and they can also denote sometimes marriage. It can denote settling down, grounding himself. So especially with that Magician card coming in, I absolutely feel like he does want to have this happen. He does want to have this happen. So I don't feel like you have any fears to really worry about. It may, especially with that Seven of Pentacles, he's making the plans. You might have to have some more patience. All right. Because the Seven of Pentacles, what it does talk about is planting the seeds and letting them grow. So the seeds have already been planted. They're already sprouting. They're coming to fruition. But, it might take a little bit more time, but I don't feel a long time, if that makes any sense. Hey, Sophia, good to see you. And again, anybody just joining the channel, our reading list is closed for today, but make sure you do join us next week. We will be here and, taking your readings as well. But yeah, so I hope that helped, Dean. I hope that gave you some sort of clarification. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, because I pulled one more card for her for my love deck. And you brought it up, patience. Definitely need patience. Don't try to push things or force things to happen right away. It's saying that you need to allow the situation to unfold naturally. It's going to come forth for you. So no worries.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And sometimes the patience is the hard part. The other thing is too, sometimes patience um, can get us really into trouble, right? Because,
Yeah.
we know that we need to be patient. Or we know that somebody is, dealing with something, from their end, or yes, and you're dealing with a Scorpio, which can be, from personal experience, can be kind of, at times very difficult. However, that's a whole nother issue. But, yeah, like patience can sometimes, create a trouble for us, because simply of the fact that we want it now, and we might not understand, all the things that somebody has to kind of deal with, from their end or whatever it is. It was actually interesting. I got into a conversation with a really good friend of mine last night about this, and her and I were chatting. And, there's so many people out there, like, when I'm doing readings for people, and I'll look at, there needs to be patience in this. And Samantha says I'm a nice Scorpio. I like that. There are nice ones. They're all nice. They're all nice. It can just be a little, sometimes some can be a little difficult. But a lot of people, and this doesn't have to do with you particularly, Dana. It's just basically that, when we talk about patience, sometimes we don't always understand what exactly is going on in somebody else's head or their environment, or what all the things that they have to do, in order to create that healthy environment within themselves too, right? And maybe they have old fears that they're releasing, or maybe perhaps, they have old connections that they've got to remove in some way. And, so again, when we talk about patience, it's good to be in a place of patience, but it's not good to be in a place of waiting, right? Never wait. And we talked about this last time, I think. Don't wait. You're not stopping your life and waiting, but perhaps have patience for the situation. And yeah, Dina said it, stubborn. Yeah, they can be very stubborn people. But again, good hearts. So Samantha is asking about Robert. So she's basically, so Samantha is a Scorpio. Robert is a Virgo. And she is wondering if there's going to be marriage coming between the two of them.
Yeah, I'm getting a yes right away. Yeah, I got a yes right away. I got no need to worry, Samantha. So all the craziness that you're thinking, overthinking, and the worrying, girl, don't even sweat it, because you don't need to worry about it. You know, this relationship is going to come forth between you and Rob. I'm also getting forgiveness. I don't know exactly, and maybe Kathy can elaborate on it. I don't know if this could be any past disagreements or situations you guys went through when you guys were together in the past, that you may need to let go. Because if you're going to start a relationship over, you got to leave the old shit behind. You can't bring the old stuff to the new. So, you know, when you guys start your new relationship, it's a clean slate. You're starting fresh. You know, the time that you guys weren't together, he grew mentally and emotionally, experienced things, and you did too. And you guys went through your own uh, experiences and situations while you guys were separate. So when you guys come back together, you have to look at him as a different person, and vice versa. So you're starting all over again, okay? And not bringing the old stuff along with your new relationship when you guys do reunite once again. Um, and that's what I'm getting so far at this time for you.
Interesting, because again, you know, as you talked about, like, our cards are aligning here for sure. Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands, Queen of Swords. So there was at some point in time, maybe perhaps that energy of defensiveness, you know, maybe perhaps not fully trusting the other person. Each of you, there might have even been some sense of honesty or, you know, harsher words that came through. But what I'm getting now is I don't know if you guys took some time apart from each other, because what it's showing here is this hangman energy that's coming in. With that hangman energy, this is really talking about, you know, there might have been that separation where you guys really took a look into yourselves. So each as individuals took a look inside of yourselves as to what it was that was important to you in, you know, in moving forward, right? It's also interesting because we got the King of Swords with the Queen of Swords as a couple coming through. I do feel that there needs to be some sort of we also got the three of Pentacles coming in. And it's interesting because when I look at this energy, it's like you guys, I feel like you guys can be romantic with each other, but there's also this energy of, or this sense of the King and Queen of Swords are not the most emotional people. All right, they can be pretty, you know, cut and dry. And what I'm getting from that, you know, especially with that Three of Pentacles, it's, there needs to be, now when I say this, that doesn't mean to settle, okay? This doesn't mean to settle against your priorities or your morals or, you know, things that are important to you. You know, you have to keep those aligned. But it is sort of saying that sometimes you guys might not be in that place of understanding maybe perhaps what the other one thinks, because, you know, the King of Swords in himself, you know, he can be fairly unemotional at times, but he likes logic. Whereas the Queen of Swords coming through, she can be very harsh with her words at times, or she can be, you know, she's not the person, if you got your hair done, she's not the person to ask unless you want the God's honest truth. how she likes your hair, because she's going to be like, if your haircut sucks, she's not going to coddle you and say, oh yeah, it looks great. She's going to be like, what'd you do that for? You know, I think that's the energy that kind of comes out. So I do feel that there needs to be a little bit more adjustment that's happening here. But what's also showing is, or maybe a different way of, to some degree communicating with each other, I guess is the best way to say it. Like, again, it's good to have your morals. It's good to have, your priorities, the things that you truly believe in, you should never settle on. Right. But there may be other ways of expressing things that will be more understanding between the two of you. Okay. Especially if he's a Virgo, right? So, he's already got a set mind, like in his mind, his brain is set. For certain things. And yeah, you're both very upfront with each other, which is great. It might be just a matter of even looking into the love language of people, right? Like how a lot of people will say, but they don't say I love you. He never says I love you, or she never does. But, some people express that different in actions rather than in words. And, some people will present gifts. I've literally done readings with people where they'll say, he hasn't said I'm sorry, but he took me to Belize and he bought me a boat and he bought me a car and he bought me this, but he hasn't said I'm sorry. Well, lady, grow the fuck up. Like, I think he's apologized in his wording. And I'm not saying this to you, Samantha. I don't want you to take that as I'm speaking that to you. But, sometimes we have to look at the way that people communicate, right? Virgos might not be always the most expressive when it comes to I love you and petting and the whole, like, they're a little bit more reserved, right? Of course, that depends on personality, but that's something that we also have to take a look at. And once we understand how the other person communicates, it really helps grow. But the very first card that came through when you asked if there's going to be marriage, Two of Cups, literally. So to agree with Naomi coming through here, what she said, yeah, I don't think you have anything to worry about. It's also talking about the Strength card. I feel like what I had just told you a minute ago was basically, this is how to improve this relationship, but I do feel this relationship moving forward into a possible, marriage or long-term commitment between the two of you. I feel like there's just gotta have to be some ways to maybe express yourselves a little bit differently in some form or some fashion. And it doesn't mean that you're giving up with the person. It just means basically, or that you're not giving to the person, or that you're not changing for the person. It's just understanding each other as to how each other expresses themselves. I love this. He says, I bring out the affection in him, and he isn't like that. He's not. So when he tells you that, that's very true. That's very true. That's a very true energy. And, and to some degree, you have to honor that because of the fact that he does have, that emotional capability to be able to express that. Even if the affection isn't quite what you're wanting, again, affection is going to change for every person, right? Some people, affection is making out on the street corner and, like, like practically humping each other in the middle of the street. For others, well, you're lucky if I hold your hand out in public. So, I mean, everybody is different, right? Everybody is different. But when he's telling you that, he does mean it, and he does feel this way towards you. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like there's a very good possibility of marriage coming into the future. So I hope that's helped. Jennifer, if you're just joining, or anybody else just joining, our reading list is actually closed today, but we will be back next week for more readings. Also, you do have to be a subscriber of the Oracle Intuitions channel on YouTube to receive a reading. So Jessica wants to know, I think I feel like I need to find her. Just give me a second. All right. Okay. She says Cameron has stopped texting for about 10 days now. I already let him know how I feel, but this keeps happening. I would like to know what happens this time and if there will be communication. And she said last time Kathy said that he was going to help me to go to the US, and I was checking with lawyers, and the best thing is that I marry a citizen. Will Cameron help me to move by asking me to marry him? Ooh, that's a big one. All right. I'll let you take a look first.
So I am getting marriage for them. I am getting that he will ask her hand in marriage, and I am getting that he will be, of course, willing to help her get her citizenship in order for her to be able to move. So let me see. More detailed message. So, okay, so I'm getting peaceful resolution, which to me, I feel that's just confirming the fact that that's going to be resolved in that way. He is going to help you, you know, when it comes to that citizenship situation. So I don't really have worries there. I recall her bringing this up before, and I did get marriage for them as well before. That hasn't changed. The energy I feel in that part is still the same. I'm also getting recovery. This could probably be a time for you to heal, because the other card that I got with recovery was improving health. So this could be, like I said before, what I'm picking up for this is the same thing. It's nothing to do with your health per se. It's more like emotionally and mentally is what I'm getting at this time. You're dealing with a lot of emotions right now, you know, first and foremost, because you guys are having a distant relationship. He's not very good with reaching out and communicating, and sometimes gets caught up with work. But I'm getting that with time, that's going to get better. It's going to take time, and like I said, patience, and like Kathy said in other readings, patience is a pain in the ass, and it's hard to have, but I'm definitely getting, you know, patience. It's going to come through. It's coming for you. You know, you're not going to have to worry so much with that at this time. But try not to overthink about it too much. Try not to stress over it too much, because that will cause you, you know, mentally and emotionally a lot of stress, and you know, you don't want to do that. And then the last thing I got for you from my love deck is positive thinking. Stay optimistic, positive thinking, and have faith with your relationship and this romance with Cameron is what I'm getting at this time.
So Jessica, I do feel him being a little bit overwhelmed right now. I do feel, I don't know if when you told him how you feel, I don't know if there was an expression about marriage or something along that line. I do feel him being a little bit overwhelmed, which is, contributed to a bit of the silence. And again, interesting enough, first card I actually pulled too was the Seven of Pentacles. So again, patience, 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 just like Namie said. Patience, patience, patience. This card flew right out. I feel like I feel like he needs time to think right now, is what I'm getting. I'm actually getting the mature man coming through. So for me, this is emotional maturity more so than, somebody old or, aging or mature in, an age type of way. But I do feel that he needs to, sort of work through his own feelings, his own thoughts, all of this stuff. But what else is really interesting coming through here is I've never had this happen. Actually, I'm using the Kipper deck on this right now, and the tarot. First card that came through was the Lovers, which is beautiful, but I also got courthouse adjudication. So I feel the same thing that Namie did. I still feel like there will be help here from him in regards to, coming over, especially with that Lovers card coming through. There's a very good opportunity of that marriage coming in, to help with the citizenship. Again, I do feel that there needs to be patience though within yourself at this point. I wouldn't push him on, because you don't want that type of relationship that is going to be, pushed towards what it is that you want. I feel like this will happen naturally, and, just sort of let things be at the moment. But that courthouse adjudication, I mean, that, right there, that's kind of saying like there's going to be court decisions, or a decision that will help, your dreams come true in some way, right? Because it's basically going to have to go through the courts in some manner, especially to get citizenship. So, for both of them to come through, I really felt positive about that, especially with that Lovers card. So I truly hope that that has helped. Again, just have some patience in here, Jessica, because I do feel he's a little bit overwhelmed, or he's in a place where, he's got to make that decision. If that's a big step, and there's a lot of legal crap behind bringing somebody into the country. Okay. Ultimately, from what I understand from state law, or the United States law, is you're responsible for that person for 10 years.
Yes.
Right. So, that's a huge jump. And it may not sound like, you might be thinking, well, if he loves me, 10 years is nothing. But the shit happens in a marriage all the time. And I mean, we as readers, we see this, right? As people, we see this. You might have, goo eyes right now, and you might be all in love and yada yada. But this is a huge step for him. It's not something that he can take lightly, because once the marriage, like, let's say a marriage dissolves, he has to be financially, even if you have a job, let's say you couldn't find a job right away or whatever, he's still responsible for you. That's 10 years out of his life, right? And that's something that he has to take on a very, very serious level. So, to push at it, or to, express it in some way, I feel like this naturally needs to come, from him. And she says, I didn't mention that, but he felt it. But I guess he felt it. And I do feel that, like, even if it wasn't expressed, when we're like, even in Canada here, that is something that I would be very wary of, right? Like, I would be in this place, like, I got to make sure that this is somebody that I'm at least willing to support for X amount of years, right? And that's something that he's not taking lightly, and I feel like he does need some time to think about it. So just give him some time. I hope that helped. I hope it gave you some sort of sense of clarity. We're going to go on to Love Tea. And so I believe that Love Tea had basically was asking about, I would like to know R's feelings and intentions for me. I'm Aries and he's a Capricorn. I'm only asking this again now because I'm here to open up to him again, even though we are in a good place. I like hearing that. So I take it that there's communication between the two of you. Is that right, Leslie? Like, you guys are, I don't know, are you dating? Are you in that place of dating? I actually think I missed Renata. Renata, I'm so sorry. You will be next. I apologize.
Okay. Okay. All right. So she mentioned something about they're in a good space now. Okay.
Right.
So this card makes sense. So I pulled from my love deck, first thing, and I got was free yourself. Like, right now is the time to take control of your life, and also take control of your feelings, and kind of put those guards down a little bit. So that good space that you're in is because you are in a good space right now. Literally. I'm also getting forgiveness. This could be forgiveness within yourself or forgiveness between you and him or anything in the past. I'm getting forgiveness. Forgiveness is coming through. And I'm getting opportunity and trust. So you're going to have this opportunity to have this, relationship with RS, but you need to have trust within the relationship and trust within yourself. And like I said before, you can start putting your guards down some. You can trust this person is what I'm getting at this time. This opportunity it's probably not just in terms of your relationship. It could be there's other things coming forth for you right now. So just trust the process. The opportunity is like a positive door that's opening. The door of opportunity is what I'm getting at this time. So I hope that's helped on my part.
So again, I'm really aligning with Nami here. First thing I actually got, and I feel like this is your energy, okay? We got this 10 of Wands coming through. So this really talks about carrying a weight on your shoulders or feeling overwhelmed or feeling maybe burdened or feeling like there's pressure or something along that line. Like it's basically an energy, that's saying that you're carrying a lot. You might be overthinking. Especially, you might be really just overthinking. We got the 8 of Swords with Judgment coming through. All right. So the 8 of Swords is about somebody holding back, but that's intentional. That's within themselves, not allowing themselves to move forward because there's really nothing holding the woman. I don't know how much you can see that card, but there's really nothing actually holding that woman down. The swords are surrounding her, but all she has to do is really stand up, whip off that face mask, and she's good to go. Like even her chains around her wrists aren't tied to anything. So this is all within her mind, within her head, where she's, very fearful of moving forward. With that Judgment card, this is time to do a lot of, forgiving and releasing. Okay. Especially with that Judgment card coming through. So I feel like what Spirit is saying to you is that it's going to be hard to move forward if you're not allowing yourself to move forward. So, if you're not willing to put your trust into the person, it's going to be hard for the person to have that trust in you. But it also, but I don't get that really from him at this moment. I feel if you keep holding back, that could be a possibility. I'm not getting that energy now, but I do feel like, Spirit is saying, we're giving you another opportunity with this person. I'm also getting the 3 of Wands, Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. Wow. I mean, 3 of Wands, 3 of Wands, Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. Like those are amazing cards. They're basically talking about love, stability. So when you ask what he wants, I do feel he's working towards that. But this needs to be, again, kind of like what we talked about at the beginning of, the show, is what are you bringing to the table? So you also have to, if you want him to be open and expressing and all of that, you can't hold yourself back. And one way to really think about it is, whether he is open and expressive or not, I still have to be within my place because, if that's the type of person that I am, I can't hide my true self from this person is what I'm getting. And especially with that Judgment card coming in. So I really feel like, be yourself, be open, be trusting. Really the other side is going to be up to him. But I'm really getting, especially with this Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles coming in, and that 3 of Wands, is that he's seeing this for the future. He's seeing stability for the future. He's wanting, a secure future with you, especially with that Ace of Pentacles. Sometimes when I see that Ace of Pentacles, it reminds me of, not only does it talk about abundance, but, it's like an earthly type of marriage card for me, right? Because of the fact that, you know, it's stability here on earth, creating a stability, abundance here on earth, like on this plane. And I really enjoy this energy. So I just feel like, yeah, you can start trusting him. You can start opening up a little bit, you know, do it at your pace if you feel, you know, that that's how you want to do it. But I'm getting, you know, positive movement forward here, you know, and again, even him, you know, looking towards that Three of Wands is like, you know, waiting for something to happen, waiting for that ship to come in, waiting for, you know, things to be brought forward. So I hope that that helps, Love Tea, because I do feel that, you know, this is a positive reconnection between the two of you. I do get, you know, kind of keep your expectations for this. Don't project them. I think you said something similar to that. Like kind of go with the flow. Like how do is that what you said? I think it was something similar to that. Like
Yeah, like let things flow on its own, let things unfold
yeah.
naturally, um freely, to be freely.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like don't project far into the future right now, because what that does is it really inhibits our actions at the moment, or we put a lot of judgment towards people's actions when we get into that place, right? Because you know, you might be expecting this for the future, but maybe they're moving at like baby steps or different, you know, a different way. So kind of just live in the moment, kind of live in that present time, because I do feel that there is this energy of him wanting to, you know, bring this into something solid, a solid commitment between the two of you. So I hope that helped. And guys, we're going to be doing our last one for this week, and we will hopefully Naomi will join me next week. We will see. Are you up for it, Naomi?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. Probably guys, we'll probably be back on Wednesday. More than likely we'll just have to talk about it. But remember, if you are a subscriber and you've hit that notification bell, you will know when we are on. So there you go. Good reminder. All right. Let's see here. So we're going to go to Renata. I just have to find Renata's question. I actually just had it, but I think I lost it somewhere here. Okay, Renata's question. My question is about I'm not exactly so it's Gorge. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. George? George? I'm not sure. My question is about George, this new guy I met. He is very conflicted with me for some reason. I can't really understand his feelings, and I'm going to distance myself. I'm going to distance myself from it. Would that be the best for now? Okay.
I am getting a yes for that.
Yeah.
I am
Right
getting,
away.
yeah, I'm getting she should distance herself.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Renata, if you're watching, can you just put his birth sign down if you have it? If you're here. All right.
Okay. So yes, space is good. I'm not really getting that he's the person for you. I pulled 3 cards for you. May have nothing to do with your relationship, but these are messages that I'm coming through. Like I said, in terms of the situation with George, I'm getting space is good. I'm not getting that you should involve yourself with this person right now. Right now, what I'm getting for you is big happy changes. I got this for someone else too earlier. I think it was Will. So you got good changes coming for you. This could be career. This can even be romance or any ideas you may or have thought about. I'm getting personal growth for you. I'm getting doors opening for you. I'm also getting your spirit guides, angels. They're sending you messages as well. This could be through song, could be through animal, bird, could be even numbers. I'm getting that they're reaching out to you, and they're trying to send you messages. I'm also getting peaceful resolution. I'm not sure if this could be a specific situation you're going through now, or a challenge that you're going through now. It's gonna cease, it's gonna go away, it's gonna be resolved, and then it's gonna go back to harmony. um if it's a disagreement, it's gonna get resolved, is what I'm getting at this time. um but I am getting, like I said, big happy changes coming forth for you at this time. You can go ahead, Kathy.
First thing I heard in regards to this person, I got a child. He acting like a child. And I don't feel that he's being completely honest about some of the things within his existence, within his life. I feel like he's sort of somebody that might keep somebody sort of on an edge or a ledge, before he decides what he's going to do with them. I'm getting a lot of false energy from this dude, just to be honest. Like,
That's why
like,
I was like, this card reading may have nothing to do with that guy, but that guy, I'm not getting nothing for him. He's not the person
yeah,
right now.
I don't feel, I literally feel he's like a fucking kid. Like, honestly, like that's his energy. I don't care if he's like, president of a CEO corporation or a multi-million dollar whatever. He's a fucking child. And he plays games, and I feel like he plays games, and I feel like this is where his energy is conflicted, because he can keep you on a pedestal, or keep you on a ledge. Let's just say ledge, because I don't want to say pedestal, because that actually sounds positive, but he keeps people teetering.
Yeah.
And I feel like you might not be the only person that he's teetering on this ledge right now either. He's sort of one of those people that might line people up along the cliff and be like, well, I'm not really sure. I'm kind of conflicted. I'm not really sure. I might come back, blah, blah. And meanwhile, he's walking along this cliff with all these people lined up, kind of just going, poke, poke, throwing them off the cliff. And that's the energy that I really get from him. I really, like, honestly, and I don't get this very often. I mean, I do, but not here on the show, kind of thing. I get icky energy. Like, I don't like this guy whatsoever. Renata, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel, close off that fucking cycle with him. Be done. I don't, if somebody's conflicted about you, okay,
Right.
see ya. Because here's the thing, I know Renata, like, and you are a lovely person, Renata, both, physically, spiritually, emotionally, you're just a lovely, lovely person. If somebody's conflicted about you, what's that say?
I got this
Oh,
for her. Now that you just said that, I'm like, let me bring it up. I got, you deserve love. You're a lovable person.
yeah. And I feel that if somebody is conflicted about you, they can go screw themselves. Like, seriously. I don't get a positive energy from this guy whatsoever. I feel like he's a player. I feel like he's a child. I feel if he doesn't get his way, he's going to have temper tantrums or something along that line. And so then I asked about what's the best advice for Renata at this time. I actually got the world. So close off this cycle. Be done. Be done. I feel he's really moody too. I also got, not only did I get the 5 of Swords, but I also got the 5 of Cups. And I feel like he uses his own emotions to play on other people. So he could be one of those people that are like, I'm conflicted, I'm sad, I'm this, I'm that, you got to cater to me, blah, blah. I don't know. I just don't like his energy. Run. Him being conflicted is actually a good thing, right? Because he can go be conflicted with someone else.
You're right.
Yeah. That's the way I view it. Go, you want to be conflicted? Go be conflicted somewhere else. Like,
Yeah, go take that mess somewhere.
you got better shit to do. Yeah. Like you know, you're too good of a person to be, you know, dealing with, you know, nonsense like that. That's what I feel. So I hope that that's helped. Nami, tell people about a little bit about your site before we log off.
So I am on TikTok, and you can look me up under Mimi's Holistics. Oh, and be careful because there's a lot of impersonators, and they do this to me and many other readers. But you can tell that my page is legit because it's the one that has. I have almost like 12K viewers on my page. So it's under Mimi's Holistics. I do daily yes or no readings. Every now and then I do a little surprise card reading as well on my TikTok. And in my TikTok, you'll see my Linktree website where you can see you can purchase readings through my Etsy shop where I do card readings as well as rod readings. And every now and then I like to do a manifestation live on my TikTok Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time where you can manifest your intentions with me through candle or through jar. So if you guys want to look me up on TikTok, it's under Mimi's Holistics.
And also, Nami has been pushing me to go on TikTok.
Yes, I was just gonna bring it up.
So I will be starting on TikTok sometime this week. Please be patient with me. I do want to be going on TikTok. It'll be just, you know, probably the short 3-minute, you know, videos to start before I can go live and stuff. So I am under Oracle Intuitions. You'll be able to tell it's me because of it's got the same picture, whatever, on Oracle Intuitions on TikTok as it does here. And guys, if you do want a personal reading with me, you can contact me at oracleintuitions.com. I want to give such huge thanks to Nami for coming here again today. I hope she will join me next week. Probably it will be the Wednesday, but we will be, you know, I'll, you know, I can't just make that decision for her.
I will. And I also told my viewers to follow you. So you might have new followers these past few days, and my moderators. Samantha's one of my moderators. Jocelyn, she's in the live too. She's a moderator for me, and they started following. I shared your TikTok account with them.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm like, help her so she can go live with us.
I would love to. I would love to be able to do that. I just have to, you know, get a good kick in my own arse here and get going on it. So I do appreciate that, guys. Thank you so very much. Thank you for watching the show. We will see you next week, and many blessings to all of you. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.